Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori and this is Holy City Mystic. Today we're going to continue with our Cazimi Combust and Under the Beams of the Sun series. We're going to talk about Saturn. So when we talk about Cazimi Combust or Under the Beams, we are strictly and only talking about conjunctions with the Sun. You cannot have this same terms with any other conjunction. So even if you have Saturn conjoining the Moon completely to 1 minute, like 0 minute warp, like completely conjoining the moon, it's still not going to be a Cazimi because that only has to do with the Sun. Same thing with combust or under the beams. So with Saturn, first of all, what is Saturn in the birth chart? Saturn is the taskmaster. It is the rule maker. It is karma and father time and the lessons that you have come to this space and time to learn. Now, when you have Saturn in the heart of the Sun, Cazimi, in your birth chart, and that's either 17 minutes or within 1 degree, depending on what tradition you follow. When you have Saturn right in the heart of the Sun like that, so the Sun is almost shining through Saturn onto you, you are going to embody all the qualities of Saturn. So since Saturn is father time, you are going to have endless patience. This idea of we are all on this wheel and the wheel is always turning, and just because we are this way right now in this time, we aren't always going to be this way. Things are going to shift, things are going to change, you just gotta wait for them. Extremely self-disciplined, have a really confident relationship with leadership, whether it's people in leadership over you or your leadership of others. Having that embodiment of wisdom where you know, people call you an old soul, and it's kind of that idea of everything you know is almost has almost transitioned from a past life, where it's like you have all this wisdom that your age doesn't seem to match. Now when you have Saturn combust in the birth chart, again this is within 8 degrees of the Sun on either side. It's basically everything I just mentioned, only those things are hard for you. So, you know, Saturn has so much to do with karma and the lessons that we learn. And so if you've ever been trying to teach a kid something, or trying to, you know, teach a friend something where it's just like, hey, maybe you're learning this because of that. And sometimes it can feel like they almost have blinders on, where it's like you're talking to your girlfriend and this is like the 8th abusive partnership that she's been in a row. And you're like, hey, maybe you could learn this lesson and then not have to go through this again. Or it's like a kid where they keep stomping on a fire ant hill and then they get their legs all bit up, and it's like, hey, when are you gonna learn? This fire ant hill is not for you to stomp on. And so it's kind of like that, where it's like there's almost blinders when it comes to the lessons that you're learning, where things are confusing and you're not really sure what you're supposed to be learning, and so it can just be kind of a hard situation there. Taking responsibility is a lot harder. So when Saturn is Cazimi right in the heart of the Sun, you embody responsibility. You're responsible for yourself, you're responsible for others. However, when it's combust in your birth chart, you might have this tendency to not want to take responsibility. You don't really want to lead anybody, you don't really want to be led by anybody, you don't want to take responsibility for your own actions. And again, this isn't a curse. This is just something that is naturally harder for you that you have to be able to overcome. You might have kind of this self-perception of you have to work twice as hard to get half as far as other people, because you don't have that Saturn mentality of being able to work really hard for something and show little progress for a long-term project. Things might be delayed in your lifetime. You might have a delayed career, delayed schooling, delayed partnerships, things like that. That might also be something that comes up for you as well. Also, a complicated relationship with authority. Either it's your authority not feeling like you have enough authority, or seeing people in authority over you not really feeling like they earned it, not really feeling like they need to be in authority over you, and also not really sure how to respond to that. Now with Under the Beams, again, this is a much lesser combust feeling. So a combustion is 8 degrees on either side, under the beams is 15 degrees on either side. And if you have some mitigating factors, like Saturn is in a sign that it really likes or a sign that it rules, then this honestly could be canceled out. But it's just almost like a diet version of combust, where authority is a little bit complicated for you. Lessons are a little bit harder for you to really wrap your mind around. You know, everybody's lessons with Saturn are hard. Period. They're supposed to be hard. Otherwise, we wouldn't be learning anything. If we were just easily going through life, then there would be no purpose to it. But when you have Saturn Combust or Cazimi, lessons are harder to really understand what the lesson is. So you're going through this dark time and you're just like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be learning here. This is so awful, I don't get it. Whereas another person who might have a very well supported Saturn, they might know just intuitively that the worst thing that has ever happened to them is actually the best thing that has ever happened to them, because they were able to gain this knowledge through it. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. And if you would like reading, I am offering them. You can follow the link below for that. And I will talk to you guys next time.